We're in Chicago, Allstate Arena. I'm with Randy kind of by the locker rooms. Road Dogg comes. Hey, Randy, go see Vince. Vince wants to talk to you. Road Dogg grabs me. That's when he tells me, hey, you're going over tonight. That's how I found out. But again, anything can change in WWE. You're not winning it until you win it, essentially. Anything can change. So yeah, Road Dogg told me a couple hours before, but I kind of got the hint maybe the day before. So here in UK, as you guys may know, maybe some of you partake in online betting. So on pro wrestling, on the one true sport, which is amazing. So I was going in as an underdog like a few days before, and then the day before, then maybe the night before, I was the massive favorite. Like the odds switched. And like I seen on Twitter, people were tweeting me like, Jinder Mahal is now a favorite. So I don't know, maybe some smart money came in. I'm not saying anything, allegedly, maybe, possibly. So I kind of seen that, and that kind of seemed interesting to me. But yes, then the next day, Road Dogg told me.
And what was that day like? You know, like you said, 10 months before you weren't working there, and now you find out you're going to be WWE champion.
Incredible. Yeah, man, just life-changing. To a year before that, when I was still drinking, like if you would have told me, hey, a year from now you're going to become WWE champion and be like the most amazing shape out of anybody on the roster, and really be confident and be working on your promos. You know what? Actually, one thing that I did that really helped me out was the day of that six-pack challenge match. When I came back after that promo that Vince had written, he was very, very happy. This promo was awesome, Vince. Thank you. And again, I'm on every live event, so I tell Vince, hey, Vince, please, every live event, let me do a promo. And he goes, Road Dogg, from now on, every live event, Jinder does a promo. And every live event after that, open mic night. I grab the mic, I could say whatever I want, but I got so many reps just doing that. We do 3 live events a week at that time, so 3 promos a week plus my promo at TV. So I got a lot of experience, a lot of practice, and I just became really more comfortable on the mic. Because that's what it really is, because earlier when I wasn't used to doing promos or have that much experience, I would spend whatever few hours I had before the show just like memorizing the promo word for word, and I'd be practicing how I'm going to go over it, and which was really, really stressful. And then as I got better at it, the more practice I did, I just needed bullet points, and then I could just talk just like this, which is much, much easier, way less stressful. Sorry, what was the question?
How did it feel winning the title?
Oh,
felt good.
It felt great. Yeah, I can't even put it into words. Changed the course of my life forever. Like that's something that nobody can ever take away from me. Yeah, just life-changing, bro. It's literally life-changing.
And what was it like working with Randy Orton?
Incredible. Randy's the man. Greatest of all time. Just incredible human being. Great wrestler, even better person. I can't say enough good things about Randy Orton. Even to this day, every month or two, we'll catch up. I'll text him. He'll text me. It's great, man. He's all-time great. Just man, to have Randy still in 2025 performing at a high level is incredible. He's an inspiration for all of us wrestlers.
And you win the title, you're the WWE champion, and then you find out that your first pay-per-view title defense is going to be a Punjabi prison match.
No, that was the third. No, sorry, second defense. The first defense on a pay-per-view was me and Randy in his hometown of St. Louis on Father's Day with his father ringside. Yes.
And once you beat him there was a Punjabi prison match.
Then there's a Punjabi prison match.
As a wrestler, what is the reaction when you find that you're going to be in a Punjabi prison match?
Man, I was actually excited. Like, I love gimmick matches. I love street fights. Like, anything outside of the box, I really enjoy doing. And it's just so much fun. I think it's fun for the crowd. And, well, I thought it was going to be fun for the crowd until the day of, when we got there and realized, like, nobody can see anything. Nobody in this there's two cages, and nobody can see a thing that's happening when we're in the inside of it. So, and I was really excited. Great Khali's match, even though he wasn't in the first one. That's okay. He was in the second one. And the third time there was ever going to be a Punjabi prison match, it was myself and Randy Orton. With the return of the Great Khali, which I found out a few days prior to. I was really excited. And another funny story was, so when we have rehearsals, they kicked everybody out of the arena. They have like a huge drape around the Punjabi prison. And okay, we got to get Great Khali here ringside so we can rehearse this spot where he's going to shake the cage and Randy Orton's going to literally risk his life kind of flipping over it. So they hit him in the middle of two crash pads and like wheeled him out. And you weren't going to hide the Great Khali. And eventually, Vince was actually there. He's just come out. Just come out. So yeah, we rehearsed it. And actually, another funny story is, if you watch the match, as Khali's making his entrance, you can see Randy like blowing his fingers. I was like, yo, when I watched it, I was like, Randy, why were you blowing your fingers? He's like, I was drying my hands. I didn't want him slippery because he was going to go like over the cage and like hang on. He's like, I didn't want to die, so I had to make sure my hands weren't sweaty because I got a lot of oil on and like hair conditioner and all this, and he's all oiled up, like, so he's blowing his hands.
There's a great moment after you win that match when you and Khali are celebrating, and it feels like he thinks that he is now the champion because
he is the champion. The thing with Khali is Khali's going to do what Khali wants to do, and he should. The thing is, man, like, if I'm the champ, Khali's the champ. Like, I felt the same way. Hold it up. But the thing is with Khali, his hand is like a frying pan. So he's patting my back like, oh, good job, brother, good job, brother. But he's chopping the crap out of my back. Like, he's slapping my back so hard. And if you watch it back, I kind of start putting my elbow into it to like protect myself. But no, bro, Khali can hold up the title, man. Khali can do whatever he wants. If it's my title, it's Khali's title. Like, being the first ever Punjabi or Indian or South Asian WWE champion, however you want to put it, like, it was all of our title at that time, man. It was such a good time for all of us. One of the most like touching things somebody told me was, growing up in Canada, I told you earlier, we dealt with a lot of racism. It's a lot less now, but it still exists. And a gentleman told me, he's like, man, when you were the champion, that was the proudest our kids have ever been. Like, they went to school, like, we're the champ. Like, we have a champion. Like, it was a huge moment for our community. It just means so much. I got to take the championship to India. It was a very, very special moment. Even people to this day, like, still remember it. They talk to me about it. It's just like a time in history that can never be taken away.
And after you feuded with Randy Orton, you feuded with Shinsuke Nakamura after that. What was it like working with him?
Oh, really good. Very easy. I enjoyed working Shinsuke a lot. Obviously, I watched him in New Japan. I know who he was. And Backlash, the night that I won the title, that was actually the debut of Shinsuke Nakamura. So, no, it was great. I think he was just such a good babyface for me as a heel. It was a great time. We wrestled on all the live events. I actually wrestled him in Japan, in Osaka. Funny story is, the night before we were wrestling in Hawaii, and I do this move where I hold the ropes and I do like 2 or 3 knee drops, usually 3, sometimes 2 if I'm blown up. if I'm breathing heavy, I'll do 2. I'll get lazy. My shoulder actually came out of the socket and got pushed back in. It's called a sublux. My arm subluxed, and I tore my labrum and fractured my glenoid fossa. Yes, that's a real bone. I fractured my glenoid and tore my labrum, which at that time I didn't tell anybody. I kept it a secret. I got an MRI done on my own, and I just PT'd it. I didn't have surgery, so like a large chunk of that time I was champion, I had a torn labrum. Because if you report the torn labrum, WWE, you're in surgery like the next day. You're stripped of the title. And where that tear is, depending on where it is, some people cannot function. Sometimes you have to have surgery or your arm won't move. But I felt like I could still go. So that happened one night, and then the next night, me and Shinsuke in Osaka, in Japan. full tilt, like probably 30, maybe 25, 30-minute full tilt match. Arm was, when I'm in the ring, when the bell rings, like I'm bulletproof. I have so much adrenaline, nothing hurts. I can run, I can jump, but you get me in like my normal life, I can barely walk. So yeah, it was a great time. I love working Shinsuke Nakamura. And then I feuded with him when he was an IC champion on like a lot of live events. Coming out of COVID, we did like a UK tour. I wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura. I really like wrestling Shinsuke.
How did you, because when you were champ and you were feuding with Nakamura, there was an infamous promo where there was a kind of racial undertone thing, and you didn't really want to do it, but you had to do it, and then there was almost going to be an apology for what you said. How did you handle that whole situation?
So when I got the promo a couple hours before the show, I was like, this is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea. Talked to Vince, asked him, can we do something else? This is not good. It's not like, this is a bad look. It's going to get backlash. He's like, no, who cares? It's heat. It's pro wrestling. Whatever. Just go do it. So there's two things you can do. You can either do it or you can basically tell him to F off and I'm not doing it, which comes with consequences of its own. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm there to do a job. This is my boss. Unfortunately, I went ahead with the promo. Wasn't great. It didn't do any good business. Like it sucked, man. The crowd didn't like it. Like they were booing it, but it wasn't like pro wrestling heat. It was just like what is this? Like it wasn't good. Like it did nothing. It did nothing good. And then I remember getting to the back, and I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. And we had a social media manager at that time named Nicky. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey, Vince wants you to write a statement. The PR team is working on it or something. We need you to tweet it out." It was basically saying like, "This is just for entertainment purposes. I just portray a character," something like that. And then like he's like, "Okay, we're just finalizing it. Whatever. We'll give it to you and just tweet it out." And then he comes back to me like, "All right," Vince says, "Screw it. We're not saying anything. No statement." And yeah, that was basically it. But a lot of the backlash actually came back to me. I feel like I don't know, Twitter is not a real place or a real thing, but I did get a lot of backlash from it, and I feel like it was kind of a lot of it came back on me, not so much to the company or for entertainment purposes only. It did come back on me.
Well, because I saw you say that, you know, the Vince's argument was it's not you saying this, it's the character.
Yeah, it's the character saying that, but
in wrestling, it feels like even though you're a character, you are going to get the brunt of whatever the character says or does.
Exactly. It was just an unfortunate thing. If I could go back in time, I really wish I could do something to change his mind about it, but it happened. I apologize. Again, it was done in character, and yeah, it's just a crappy situation.
You're then at Survivor Series 2017 meant to wrestle Brock Lesnar, champion versus champion. Yep. And it didn't happen because obviously you would lose the title to AJ, but was the match going to happen in terms of as far as you know, and what about the rumors that Brock didn't want to do the match?
Yeah. So it genuinely was going to happen. Brock's a heel. I'm a heel. I don't know how we're going to do this match. Like, I don't know. Is he going to turn babyface for the night? Are people going to cheer him? I don't know who's going to go over. We're both champions. I don't know. I'm having all these questions. But again, like at that time, wrestling at WWE was week to week. Like you don't get any knowledge, or I never even used to really ask. Like I'm so easygoing. That's just a day of just tell me what I'm doing and I'll do it. And we'll deal with it. We'll plan it on that day. So we were on a Europe tour, and I was gonna go back early one day on like a separate flight to go to Raw to do a promo with Brock. It was on a Europe tour because I lost a title on a Europe tour. Exactly. So before we went to Europe, me and AJ did a promo or something. I beat him up or something. I got heat on him. And then they announced a title match for Manchester. And again, the same way that I found out that I'm winning the title the day of, I found out the day of that I'm going to be dropping the title to AJ. Basically, I get to TV and I see Michael Hayes, and he tells me, "Hey, go to Vince's office." AJ gets summoned to Vince's office. Before AJ gets there, me and Vince are shooting the about bodybuilding, what we normally do, like, yeah, how do you diet, how do you stay on diet on tour, how do you work out on tour, etc. I'm talking to him. AJ comes in, and actually something funny happened that tour that I didn't even realize. I thought it was weird, but I didn't know why. Vince goes, hey, the marketing team somehow messed up because on the card, like the internal card, it was supposed to be a non-title match. I was gonna get on the mic every show and say, you people don't deserve to have the Maharaja defend the title. Due to contractual obligations, I found a loophole. I will not be defending my title in England on all these live events. But for some reason, like on the advertisements that went out, non-title match, Jinder Mahal versus AJ Styles, which he was I guess Vince found out that day that was advertised like on all the marketing material. Anyway, he's talking about that. AJ comes in, he's like, okay, Jinder, you're dropping the title. You're now going to chase it. You got one more title match at Night of Champions. AJ, you and Brock at Survivor Series. Okay, thank you, boss. That was it. Thank you. Dropped the title that night. Did the honors. It was great. I was a title champion I had the title for like 6 months or something like that. It's got to come to an end anyway. I wasn't sad about it. I was actually happy. And I did tell Vince, like, I'm going to become champion again. That was one of the things that I also changed. My relationship with Vince, I kind of figured him out. I found out that you got to just talk to him like a man, and you got to talk to him with confidence. And that's how he'll respect you. You can't go, yes, sir. Like, you cannot be intimidated by him. You just got to go up to him. You got to talk to him like a man. So that day I told him, I'm going to be champion again. And whatever, thank you. I dropped the title. AJ has a really, really good match with Brock. I loved it. I was there in Houston. I watched it. I believe they were doing like a camera shot of me, like reacting to the match. So I was watching it. It was an amazing match. It was way better of a match than me and Brock would have had, given the circumstances that we're both heels. They had an incredible match. The story of the size difference and everything. It was a fantastic match. Way better than anything I could have done. Fast forward a couple years, that's when it came out on Twitter. And you guys can fact check me on this. If you go back and look when I dropped that title, there was no mention Brock refused to work with Jinder. It came out years later. I think it was Dave Meltzer. He said it. Brock refused to work with Jinder. So, man, the thing with a lot of dirt sheets is, it's that writer's opinion on things. But they don't say, in my opinion. They just state it like it's a fact, and people run with it as a fact. And at that time, no, I didn't. Honestly, I swear on anything. Nobody told me Brock doesn't want to work you, etc. In fact, Brock shows me nothing but respect. Even to the very end of the time that I was in WWE, if Brock sees me in the locker room, he shows me the utmost respect. Always handshake, hug. And I don't see him I don't see him that way with everybody. I promise you guys. Like, me and Brock have a certain respect for each other. Obviously, I respect him, but to have him respect me back. What I think happened, and I agree with it, it wasn't like a refusal to work. It was like, hey, this will be a better match. Me and AJ, I'm a heel, he's a babyface, which I completely agree. It was the right call. It was a way better match. But somehow it got spun into Brock refused to work Jinder, which in my opinion is not the case. And again, you guys can fact check me on this. Go back and look at any wrestling news. If at that time when I dropped the title, somebody find me something at that time that came out, this is Brock refused to wrestle Jinder. It came out like years later. I remember like years later I read it, and then that's been the common commentary amongst the IWC. Brock refused to work Jinder. But I kind of wanted to spin it and be like, no, he refused to job to me because Jinder was going to go over.